Now, this is gonna be one of those feel-good videos you get by creators that are gonna make you feel like being a full-time creator is the easiest thing ever. And by no means am I complaining, because I've had a normal job, I've been a full-time creator, and I choose full-time creator 100 times out of 100. But with that being said, if you don't know what to look for when going to become a full-time creative, you're going to struggle. The raw reality of being a full-time creator is there's going to be this period in time where you're going to have to be working a job and then working a whole nother job as a creator. So you're gonna have to go to your part-time or full-time job, come back, and then create content. There was a point in my life where I was working at a beauty care company, driving to shoot music videos at night, and then making YouTube videos even after I got back from shooting those music videos. So I kind of almost had like 3 jobs at once. Nowadays, it's a lot easier. There's some days where I don't even work anymore, which is amazing, and I'm super fortunate. But to get to this point, you have to be willing to make those sacrifices. So hopefully the things I share here today will make your journey way quicker than the journey that I've been on, because I've been creating content since I was like around 12, 13 years old. I'm now 26, so that's, you do the math, a long time. So all that to say, just because there's sacrifices doesn't mean that it's something that's so far in the future that you can push off. Like, this is something that if you want to commit to and start becoming a full-time creator, you can do in 6, 12 months without that much of an issue. Driving over cobblestone right now, probably not the best time to talk, but my first piece of advice for you guys is to document the journey and build your personal brand. So having a personal brand not only allowed me to make enough money to go full-time and well past that, we'll talk on that in a little bit, but it's also allowed me a lot of opportunities, like going to events, meeting people that I wouldn't have been able to meet, getting free stuff sent to me. Building a personal brand is one of the most important things you can do in 2025, in my opinion, because it's basically building an audience of like-minded people that if you decide to sell something or create something, they're more than likely to support it. Now, for most people to go full-time, it probably takes around like $3,000 to $5,000 from your content creation to actually be able to go ahead and quit your job and replace your income. Some people might be a little bit more, some people might be a little bit less. But the thing about building a personal brand and having this digital presence is it's scalable. Meaning, once you get past that 3 to 5 and you just build up your audience, that's the compounding thing. So you can go and make 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, heck, even some months for me have been up to $72,000 just off my Shopify. So there is real power in building an audience, building a personal brand, because no matter how much work you do at your current job, you're probably not gonna get a raise that's 3 times what you were making the previous month. But with content creation, if done right, you can have a very stable income and then put in a little bit extra work, scale your audience, create a new offer, and have months where you make 3 times what you just made the previous month. Building a personal brand is also really good for the community aspect. I've been able to connect with so many like-minded people because the content I put out on the internet is content that I would watch and I enjoy. So the people that tend to watch it are people very similar to me. I've been able to go backstage at some concerts, meet some of the biggest artists of our generation, and it's all because of my personal brand. So what I'm saying is, one of the most powerful ways to become a full-time creator is actually having a personal brand, not being afraid to document the journey and show your face. You might think at the moment most people aren't interested in your life, and that might be true at the moment. But stuff like this, where I can reference one of my first vlogs or some of my first tutorials and I have it pop up on screen, you can see that I've been doing this for years and years and years. I've been creating content for well over 10 years. You can now see who I am as a person. You can trust me a little bit more, know that I know what I'm talking about. And if I hadn't documented that, the stories that I tell now about how I was working at the beauty care company and I was doing music videos and music video tutorials, it wouldn't feel as real. I wouldn't be able to let you into the lens of like who I was as a person at that time. So if I were to get started, I'd be doing it the right way from the beginning, and that's documenting and building your personal brand. My second piece of advice to you is to learn new skills. One of my favorite ways to do that is by reading. So much of my success I credit to reading, because people like, for example, Napoleon Hill, the author of this book, will dedicate their whole life to writing one book that's like 300 pages long, takes you like 4 hours to read, and then you can go ahead and live and experience some of the things that they deemed the most valuable in under a few hours. If you're someone that's like, oh, I don't read, just go ahead and check the link down below. I'll have a sheet with a lot of the books that I've read that I would recommend to people, because I think the primary reason a lot of people don't actually end up like reading is because of the books that you were forced to read in school, because they weren't actually interesting or pertaining to what you want. So I read a lot of self-help. entrepreneur type books. So if that's something you're interested in, I'll have, like I said, that sheet down below with just a few books that I would recommend. Go ahead and check it out if you want to try reading. And also courses and stuff like free YouTube videos are insanely valuable as well. You can learn so much on YouTube, but don't discredit the books. With that being said as well, I'll have a really tactical video that I recorded on my second channel, breaking down exactly how I became a full-time creator. It's literally the blueprint I used and it's free. So go ahead and if you're interested, go ahead and check it out. It is a great video to learn a lot on, but go ahead and finish this video out first and then go down to the description and watch that video after if you're interested in learning more about how to become a full-time creative. Got the mic, ultra wide, keyboard, mouse. None of it's on right now. I don't even know why I told you. My third and final piece of advice for you guys is to build a digital product offer. And if that sounds really confusing, all it basically is turn the skills that you just learned into some kind of digital product. So for example, if you were a video editor, you can make editing presets, overlays, LUTs, something that you know how to do and you're good at. You can turn it into a product that people can download. That way you front load all the work and effort on your end into the creating. And then once it's done and created and you upload it to your website and have all the automations and all that technical stuff done, then when someone buys it, you don't actually have to do more work because the email is automatically sent to them. So you just got paid right now for work that you did in the past. And this is what's really allowed me to have complete financial, location, and time freedom as a creator. I can create what I want when I want because I've spent the countless hours creating really amazing assets that other editors can use and purchase from me and support me as a creator. Now the thing is, it doesn't have to be editing assets. There's so many different forms of digital offers that I couldn't possibly go over all of them. There's courses, PDFs, ebooks, presets, communities. There's so many different ways you can package up your skill set into something digital that you can leverage to gain back your time. And as you know, as a creator, you're not always constantly wanting to make something new. It's not always inspiring. You can't just create stuff all the time, no matter what, and that's what leads to burnout. So allowing yourself a little time in between each project and not having to work with a client that you don't want to work with can be really, really good for your mental health. It'll allow you to learn new skills, work on self-development, travel, experience life in a different way. And to get started with some kind of digital product, you don't have to be an absolute expert. Just start with what you know and offer it to some friends or some other people that follow you for free and just see what they think. Hear out their advice, see how you can make it better, what you can improve on, what you can add, and just keep making it better and better until people are willing to pay for it. And if during that time period you've been building a personal brand and documenting the journey, you'll be able to have people that are already interested in your product. If you take those 3 pieces of advice, building a personal brand and documenting the journey, learning new skill sets, and then creating a digital product offer, you are going to be well on your way to being a full-time creator in 2025. Out of all the things that I tried over the last 10 years as a creator, those 3 things gave me the most outsized return on the time that I spent. Building a personal brand is by far the most important thing I've done. Learning new skills has allowed me to build a personal brand and allowed me to learn how to build a website and do marketing and speak clear on the camera. And these are all things that I'm also leaning more into as a creator right now. I'm leaning more into my personal brand, learning new skills and digital products as well. And I'll leave you with this. It's not gonna be the easiest journey ever, but it will be worth it. Peace.